welcome. I'm Michelle Marchant Johnson with Love Life Coaching, and today I'm going to share with you 5 feminine qualities that men find irresistible. Now, in my work in helping single women over the last decade plus, single women who want to meet and attract the right man and establish a loving, committed partnership relationship with the man of their dreams, another part of my work has been the opportunity that I've had to interview hundreds of men. And in having these conversations with all of these men, many of whom are in great partnerships or marriages, I've had the opportunity to talk to some of them and ask them, what are some of the feminine qualities or characteristics that made you want to choose this woman that you're with as your potential wife or girlfriend? I'm going to share with you 5 irresistible feminine qualities that men love and find irresistible. So the first one is warmth, the quality of warmth. So I remember years ago speaking with a man, and he was sharing with me, they'd been married for many years, but he was sharing with me one of the things that he noticed about his wife way back when they were dating. He said, no matter who she was interacting with, whether it was a child, whether it was an elderly person, no matter what background they came from, she had this warmth and this kindness and this caring interaction and way of showing up with people. And he found that incredibly compelling and incredibly attractive. Just the kindness and generosity of spirit that seemed to emanate from her. And he said, one of the reasons I found this so attractive is I thought, if she shows that to all of these different people from all different backgrounds, walks of life, and of all ages, I felt pretty comfortable that was going to be available for me, that warmth and that kindness and generosity of spirit. So the warmth that you show, the warmth in the way that you speak, the warmth in the way that you treat people or interact with people. One man that I interviewed a few years back called it a sweetness. But I think of it as being the sweetness, the kindness, the way of caring and showing up with warmth toward other people. Now, this does not mean that you're a pushover or that you let people use you in any way, because I believe that another feminine aspect of us is our feminine strength. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So the first one is your warmth. The second one is receptivity. And I like to call this graciously receiving what a man has to offer you and receiving it with appreciation and acknowledgement and in a way that allows him to recognize that he's being appreciated and acknowledged, because that's part of what makes him feel successful with you, makes him feel like he's winning with you, making him feel that he can succeed with you and pleasing you. And one tip here is, if you're not liking or appreciating what a man has to offer or what he has to give, then he's maybe not the right man for you. Because we often hear that men want to please us as women, that men want to please women, that men want to make you happy. And that hasn't been the experience of every woman with every man. And I think part of that can be, certainly there has to be an attraction and a desire for a relationship on a man's part for him to put forth the effort. But also, if a man is putting forth the effort, it also has to be a woman's receptiveness to what he has to offer and what he has to give, and a gracious appreciation for that. So even like a smile on your face can mean so much, or a thank you, or that is so sweet, or that means so much to me, or I really appreciate that so much. Letting him know that what he does for you, what he has to offer, makes a difference in your life, even if you're a pretty independent and self-sufficient woman. So that second feminine quality is that receptivity, that feminine receptivity. I will just say one other thing about this before I go to number 3. I was thinking about an Oprah interview that I heard years ago. And of course, I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but it was Toni Morrison, and she was talking about children, and when children enter into the room, and how often a mom is looking, is their hair combed? Do they have their clothes on right? Are their shoes tied? that sort of thing. And how that, from a mother's perspective, can feel really loving because they're concerned about their children's well-being. But she was basically saying, you think that your love and your affection is on display, but what they're seeing or what they're feeling is more the critique or the critical face. And I think this principle applies to a man as well. When you see him, if your face lights up, if you look happy to see him, if you let him know that the things that he does for you make a difference by notifying your face, that in and of itself can make a really big difference. And I don't think we as women recognize how valuable it is to a man who cares about a woman to have her be receptive and appreciate what he has to offer. So that was number 2, receptivity. Number 3 is your emotional connection and expressiveness. Now, this might sound a little funny, but what I believe is when we as women share things about ourselves or things about our lives, and we share more from a heart-centered place rather than just kind of a factual place or a resume kind of way, it's like giving a man like a little glimpse into your heart and into your soul. I call these heart glimpses. So when you give a man a little heart glimpse, it allows him to connect with you on a deeper level, meaning he gets to feel a little bit about who you are, the things that are important to you, that are meaningful to you, the things that you care about. And I also believe because so many men are so much in their heads and are more in the rational mind rather than being connected with their feelings, when a man can feel that heart glimpse from you, I think it helps a man oftentimes to connect to his feelings and can also make it feel safer for him to share more from the heart with you. So an example of this might be, let's just think of an example. Maybe you're talking about traveling and you maybe have been a big traveler in your life. And let's just say you've been to 27 countries. So instead of saying, oh yeah, I love traveling too, I've been to 27 countries. That's kind of the resume or the factual way of talking about it. But what you could say, just to kind of give an example here, is you could say something like, oh yeah, traveling. Traveling has meant so much to me in my life because I love being able to be exposed to and have the opportunity to interact with different people and different cultures. And some of the memories that I've made, some of the beautiful places I've seen are things I'll never forget. For example, I remember walking through the spice markets for the first time in India, and that incredible aroma and the beauty of all the different colors of the spices and of the people's attire and the beauty of everything around me. It like was a treat for every sense. So it's like if you're sharing something like that, he's like getting a little heart glimpse. I think you can kind of see the difference as an example. As another example, I had a client a few years back, and she had a high-level position in an organization, and it was an environmental organization. And it just so happened to be in Europe. And she was really passionate about her job, and she had an impressive sounding title. So the resume version, if he were to ask her, what do you do for a living? The resume version might be, well, I have such and such a title in such and such environmental company, which is an impressive sounding title. And this is not about like downplaying your accomplishments or who you are. It's just giving a little more so they can get a glimpse of who you are. So what she could say, and this was something we kind of worked out together, as you could say something like, you know, I'm so blessed and so fortunate to do work that really means a lot to me and is really important to me, because as a result of the work that I get to do in the world, I get to help preserve the beauty of our land and landscape and our lakes and our rivers and our streams and our forests, not only for me to enjoy, but for generations to come. And I feel so blessed and lucky to be involved in that kind of work. So here she's sharing what she does, but she's also sharing that little heart glimpse. So I'd like to invite you to experiment with this, because I believe this is a feminine quality that many men will find irresistible, because it allows them to see you in a different way. It's not just the factual exchange of information. It's sharing more from your heart. Okay, so that's number 3, is like being connected with those emotions and those feelings, and also being able to express that emotional expressiveness. That's number 3. Number 4 goes along with this, and that's you're passionate. So one of the men that I spoke with a few years ago, and I was speaking about what attracted him to the woman that he was with, he said, one of the things that I find so beautiful about her and so amazing and irresistible about her is when she talks about things that she really deeply cares about, or that she enjoys doing so much, some of her hobbies or some of her interests. It's like her whole being lights up. It's like she's lit from within. And he was talking about how attractive this was and how he felt so compelled to want to know her better and wanted to be around her because of this excitement and this joy and even playfulness around some of her hobbies and interests that she expressed. And when she got so excited, it was like a childlike excitement where she was like lit from within. And so again, when you share about things that are important to you, it is another heart glimpse. And when you share about your passions and your interests and things that are really important to you, if you have that excitement and that joy and fun around some of your hobbies or interests, it's going to be really compelling. And this man just said when he saw her like that, all lit up and excited, he found her to be so incredibly attractive. So number 4 is passionate. Number 5, now this one may not surprise you because in all kinds of surveys, both with men and with women, one of the number 1 qualities that both men and women find incredibly attractive is confidence. So when I think of feminine confidence, I think of the way a woman presents, the way she carries herself, the way she speaks, the way that she enters a room like she knows who she is, not in a way of arrogance, but in a way she's carrying herself with confidence. In a way she interacts with a man, she's not afraid to express her preferences, her wants and needs. And that doesn't necessarily have to come across as harsh or demanding. It can sound like, what would really work best for me, or what I'd feel most comfortable with, or what I'd really enjoy would be. And then you share your wants, your needs, your preferences. And if a man is of the nature of wanting to please you and wanting to spend more time with you and wanting to get to know you, you're giving him that opportunity to then show up and give to you what you'd like in a way where he might also get that acknowledgement and appreciation. Kind of comes back to the receptivity we talked about earlier. A woman who carries herself with confidence also has boundaries and standards, and they don't collapse in the face of being with a man. You don't feel like you have to earn a man's love. You don't feel like you have to pretzel yourself into who you think he might want you to be. You know who you are, and you have your standards and your boundaries. And that's the kind of woman that a man respects. He can love and respect because he's like, she knows who she is. And at times it might even invite him to step up his game a little bit to be that better man, because he wants to be that kind of man for you. So that kind of confidence, that feminine confidence, it can start with how you carry yourself, your posture, and that innate knowing of your own value, and that your value is not dependent upon what is or isn't happening with any man. This is part of also being authentic. So having that kind of confidence can be incredibly attractive and incredibly compelling. So just as a quick review, our 5 feminine qualities that men find irresistible are warmth, receptivity, that emotional connection and responsiveness, you're passionate, and confidence. So those are 5 feminine qualities that men have shared with me that they have found irresistible in the women that they're with. I'd love to hear from you what additional feminine qualities you think stand out with men, and any other comments or questions that you have here. Plus, it would be great if you would give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video, and also share it with your friends or others that you think it might help. And if you haven't already subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Oh, and one more thing. Don't forget to check in the description or the link below this video for a lovely gift that I have just for you called 10 Secrets Every Woman Needs to Know About Men. It's an ebook and audio training and sharing with you 10 secrets that I have gleaned and shared with you based on these interviews with all these men over the years. I think you'll like it. Thanks again for watching. I hope to see you here soon. Bye for now.